Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the two most powerful discovery engines on the internet. Now, if you've ever felt like the YouTube algorithm is just this giant, unpredictable black box, trust me, you are not alone. But the truth is, it's not random at all. It's actually a highly sophisticated system designed with literally one ultimate goal: keeping people watching. And to pull that off, it relies on two totally distinct engines, search and suggested. So let's break them down.
You know the feeling, right? You pour your absolute heart into making something. It gets a few hundred views and then, well, nothing, just a flat line. But meanwhile, another piece of content from a similar creator suddenly shoots into the stratosphere with hundreds of thousands of views while they sleep. So why does this happen? The harsh reality is that most of us are optimizing for the exact wrong metrics, simply because we don't realize which of YouTube's engines we're actually feeding.
Okay, let's dive right into this. You see, YouTube doesn't just have one single algorithm, it has multiple, and the two heavyweights operate on completely different psychological principles. On one hand, we've got YouTube search, which is entirely intent-based traffic. On the other hand, we have suggested videos, which is behavior-based traffic. Understanding this divide, the difference between what a viewer intends to do versus how a viewer behaves, that is the absolute secret to unlocking real growth.
So, first up, Engine 1, YouTube search.
When someone goes to that search bar, they are what we call an active viewer. The key takeaway here is human intent. This viewer has a very specific problem. Maybe their kitchen sink is leaking, maybe they're stuck on a video game boss, or, I don't know, maybe they need to learn how to tie a tie 10 minutes before a wedding. They are goal-driven, and quite frankly, they're impatient. They want an immediate, direct solution. They're not looking to hang out, they just want the answers so they can get out.
I absolutely love this analogy from our source material because it makes a really dense technical concept super accessible. Think of search like Google Maps. People are going directly to a destination. Think about it. If you open Google Maps, you don't want it suggesting a scenic detour just for fun, right? No, you want the fastest route to the grocery store. The YouTube search algorithm operates the exact same way. It just wants to get the viewer from their search query to the best possible answer as efficiently as possible.
So how exactly does the AI decide who gets that top spot? Well, it rewards three main things. First is semantic relevance. And hey, it's evolved way beyond old-school keyword stuffing. The AI literally reads your transcripts and understands the context. Second is click-through rate. Are people actually clicking your title when they search for that topic? And third, and this is arguably the most important, intent satisfaction. Did the viewer watch the video and leave satisfied? Or did they bounce after 5 seconds to click something else? If you solve their problem quickly and clearly, the algorithm is going to reward you with long-term, evergreen traffic.
Now, let's flip the script and look at Engine 2, suggested videos.
This is a whole different ballgame. Unlike the impatient searcher, the suggested engine targets the passive viewer. Picture a user kicking back on their couch on a Friday night. They don't have a specific goal, they're just browsing. They're driven by curiosity and emotion. They want to be entertained, they want to laugh, or they want to get sucked into a really fascinating story. They are perfectly willing to let YouTube take the wheel and guide them on a journey.
To build on our city analogy from earlier, if search is Google Maps, suggested is like street billboards. People are just walking around, taking in the scenery, and suddenly, bam, a flashy, intriguing billboard catches their eye and influences them to stop. The algorithm's job here isn't to answer a question. Its job is to generate enough intrigue and curiosity to make a passive viewer stop scrolling and click.
Now, you might be wondering, why does YouTube care so much about these passive viewers? It's because of this massive number. 40 minutes. That is the average length of a YouTube viewing session. 40 minutes. People rarely just watch one video. They watch a whole chain of them. And the longer YouTube can keep someone on the platform, the more ads they can serve. Capturing a viewer's attention through a chain of recommended videos, that is where exponential viral growth actually happens.
So what this all boils down to is a metric called session continuation. For the suggested engine, YouTube doesn't just care if someone watched your video, they care what the viewer did after they finished your video. Did you inspire them to binge 3 more videos on your channel? Or did they get bored, close the app, and go scroll TikTok? If your content is a session starter or a session extender, the suggested algorithm will literally push it to millions of homepages. All right, so what content wins where? When you break it down, there is a stark divide. In the search engine, the viewer is impatient. So the winning content types: tutorials, guides, and how-tos. The algorithm just wants relevance and satisfaction. But jump over to the suggested engine side of things, the viewer is relaxed. Here, the winning content is storytelling, episodic series, and highly bingeable stuff. The algorithm's goal flips entirely to prioritizing total watch time and session time.
Honestly, it really just boils down to this incredibly simple but often ignored reality. Answers versus entertainment. You literally cannot make a slow-paced, deeply emotional entertainment video for an audience frantically trying to figure out how to fix their broken hard drive. They're going to click away instantly. And conversely, you can't make a dry, bullet-point tutorial and expect it to go viral on the suggested homepage where people are just looking for a laugh. You absolutely have to match your content format to the viewer's intent.
Okay, let's get into the good stuff. The ultimate growth strategy. Here is the ultimate growth hack where it all comes together. Videos start in search to plant the seed, and they graduate to suggested to grow the forest. Look, when you're a small channel, the algorithm doesn't really know who your audience is yet, so it's not going to suggest your stuff. You have to start in search. Search brings you that slow, steady, consistent trickle of highly targeted viewers. It plants that essential seed of algorithmic trust. So here is the exact step-by-step pipeline. Step 1. You win search. You create a highly relevant video that perfectly answers a specific query, bringing in consistent evergreen traffic. Step 2. Because your video is just that good, those search viewers actually stick around. You retain them with high watch time and high satisfaction. Step 3. The algorithm notices. It says, wow, people really love this video when they find it. Let's try suggesting it to people who didn't even search for it. Suddenly, your video graduates. It triggers the suggested engine, and boom, that is how you achieve algorithmic scale and massive virality.
So how do we actually put this into practice? Well, here are a few concrete data-backed optimization tactics you can use right now. First, optimize your titles for viewer intent. Make it totally clear exactly what problem you're solving. Second, create connected series and playlists. Don't just make isolated one-offs. Group them together logically. Third, master storytelling hooks in that first 30 seconds to capture that passive browsing audience. And finally, use your end screens. Don't just let the video fade to black. Explicitly tell the viewer what they should watch next to extend that all-important session time. As we're wrapping up this explainer, I really want this quote from the source material to stick with you. The algorithm prioritizes viewer satisfaction, not just clicks. It is so incredibly easy to get lost in the weeds of SEO and tags and clickbait. But at the end of the day, human psychology always overrides technical tricks. If you focus on genuinely satisfying the viewer, whether that's giving them the exact answer they needed in search or telling them an incredible story in suggested, the algorithm is naturally going to reward you.
Which brings us to one final kind of provocative question. Take a look at your own channel, or even just the content you consume. Are you just building a disconnected video library, hoping people randomly stumble upon the work? Or are you strategically engineering a growth engine, using search to pull people in and suggested to keep them there forever? Because the choice of which engine you build is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.